engine scream and roar. Northwest Truck Series is kicking down the door. Arca rigs are flying, dusting up the pines. Sasquatch in the stands, sipping moonshine. Feel the tires burn, hear the crowd ignite. iRacing's finest, day or night. From the Rockies to the coastal line, LSRTV's where the legends shine. Oh, Northwest Racing, let the good times roll. These race covers got rebellious souls. Crank it up loud, hear the engine scream. And LSRTV is bringing you the stream. Yeah, Northwest Racing reigns supreme. 3 wide in the corner, inches revving high. A southern tradition beneath the northwest sky. Checkered flags are waving, hearts beat like a drum. Sasquatch roars for every single roar. Feel the tires burn, hear the crowd ignite. iRacing's finest, day or night. From the Rockies to the coastal line, LSRTV's where the legends shine. Oh, Northwest Racing, let the good times roll. These race covers got rebellious souls. Crank it up loud, hear the engine scream. And LSRTV is bringing you the stream. Yeah, Northwest Racing reigns supreme. Guitars are slinging, tracks taking a groove. Northwest boys got nothing to prove. Grabbing gears and rubbing doors. Northwest racers always bringing more. Oh, Northwest Racing, let the good times roll. These race covers got rebellious souls. Crank it up loud, hear the engine scream. And LSRTV is bringing you the stream. Yeah, Northwest Racing reigns supreme. Watch Northwest Racing with Charles, Wesley, and Jeremy on LSRTV. And maybe Bigfoot too.
Hi, welcome to Day Motorsports. Come on, check out what we got.
Thank you for keeping Day Motorsports in business for over 50 years.
What really sets On Demand shirts apart from everybody else is our people. Our people really care about every job that comes through here and they treat it as their own. That paired with state-of-the-art equipment that we use on everything that we touch, that's really what ends up providing the top-notch quality that you guys come to expect. Because we've printed stuff from anywhere from a small boutique shop all the way to Fortune 500 companies, we have experience that goes all across every industry you can think of. From a very small job to 200,000 plus shirt job, we can handle it. your brand is more than just a logo, it's an identity. At On Demand Shirts, we create professional apparel that makes a statement. From uniforms to corporate gifts, your brand is in good hands. Contact us today so we can help elevate your company.
Hey, it's Wesley Outland, the voice of the Northwest Racing iRacing series on LSRTV, and proudly again on the Community Radio Network. As always, we're excited for another season of the best iRacing Pacific drivers of the Northwest, putting on a show that you all enjoy every Monday night. Join us also on LSRTV or listen on the Community Radio Network at wearecrn.com. The power of radio to the imagination of the listener, iRacing style, CRN LSRTV for the Northwest Racing Series. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we welcome you to the penultimate race of the season, the final race in the round of 8. The championship is getting closer to being decided, and only fitting than to be at the world's greatest race course, the racing capital of the world, on 16th and Georgetown. It is the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. It is, of course, the 2.5-mile Yard of Bricks, the place we will battle here at the Brickyard for tonight's final race of the round of 8. Somebody's going to the championship 4. The deciding 4 will be decided at the end of the night, and we are ready to go here at Indianapolis. Welcome, I'm Wesley I'm Wesley Out. It's supposed to be Outland Wesley. Okay, get it right, Charles. If you're gonna butcher me, at least get it right. I'm Wesley in, and Jeremy Stanley is in. He's a color analyst. Charles Wooten has already got his jokes. He's in a good mood, and Jeremy, ready to go here for Indy, man. This should be a good one tonight, sir.
I'm glad you're in and not out. I mean, that's
yeah,
cool,
exactly.
man. But welcome, Indianapolis. We got 20 drivers here, it looks like, roughly, and I was actually kind of surprised to see the turnout for the second to final race, man. It's late in the season. Playoffs are almost done, and got a full field. So I love to see us. And I don't know what this track and car combo looks like with the trucks at this 2.5-mile rectangle. So this will be kind of fun and interesting to watch as they figure things out here. Really looking forward to this race, though, overall.
Well, and let's be honest here. Anything can and will happen with Indianapolis. We might see a crazy race with a lot of wild racing battling, or we'll see another quiet, caution-free event. I kind of think we're going to see the top than the latter because obviously the circumstances, Jeremy, that are hanging in the balance make it be where patience is definitely gone. By the time we get to about probably 20 laps to go, friends out the window, you got to do what you want to do to win. You're going to do that. And obviously, if you're one of these guys on the outside looking in the round of 8, pushing your ticket into the championship 4, you need to have a win. You need to have a good points race.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You need that. And we'll see how this race turns out. I don't know if they got much practice here, and this is typically on a track you see on the schedule. So could be a couple of guys that kind of stand out. Maybe some of the top guys fall a little bit. And so it's like a Talladega, if you will. It's kind of a little of a wild card track. So hopefully they got enough practice to figure it out to maintain or advance what they can to the points. And I kind of like the throw up or the change up in the schedule for that kind of reason. And it'd be cool. It'd be cool to see it. Just tire wear. I would be careful of that. Taking these 90-degree corners with a truck that weighs like nothing in the back. When you get back on throttle off of turn 2 and turn 4, could be kind of tricky. These trucks in the air, especially in the first couple of laps, when you're following somebody, you have no downforce on the nose of these trucks, right? Drivers talk about that from time to time. And off of 1 and 3, you might push up easier than what you think after carrying that huge amount of speed down the straightaways, and you might hit the wall off the corners of 1 and 3. So something to keep an eye out on.
Let's take a look at the weather conditions and obviously the race analysis presented by Race On, the home of the Short Track Nationals, scheduled for this week. Unless weather permits, Short Track Nationals and more on Race On. Watch live and, of course, on replay. Race information, no fast repair, 100% fuel capacity. They're going to get it 4 sets of tires. So once they qualify on here in just a moment, wrapping up, plus 3 more sets. It is 200 miles. It is 80 laps. 2-lap qualifying will determine it. Jeremy, you've got the weather conditions presented by Kaufman Creative on the other right of the screen, sir.
Look at that. Yeah, air tip 71 8-mile-an-hour winds. That could play a factor. 80 degrees on the track side. That's nice. Nice evening, if you will, here for Indianapolis. And time of day is 2:57 p.m. server time. So right in the hottest point of the day. To air temp, track temp might drop a few degrees when this thing's all said and done here, and partly cloudy. So just you can see it kind of there, just over the grandstands in turn 1. Just a little bit of cloud coverage here and there. That part shouldn't affect anything. But you see the flags are kind of moving around with that 10-mile-an-hour wind. So we'll see how that turns out with the weather.
Well, the stage is set. And obviously, before we go any further, let's obviously let you know where we are when it comes to the point standings for the Northwest Racing Series in Season 12. Congratulations, by the way, to Devin West. He was the ARCA champion a few weeks ago. Less than 3 weeks ago. Now, with 2 races remaining, obviously, we know this. If you won races, you're in the championship 4. We know that Devin West and Christopher White both, Jeremy, have done that. We feel that Dennis Moore, with the interesting season he's had being consistent, could possibly lock up that 3rd and final spot. The question is, most importantly, unless somebody comes in and trumps them all, who's going to get that 4th and final position? That's what's going to be wide open.
Yeah, I mean, we have 18 trucks here, right? So Dennis has only 6 points over Tyler King. So I would not say he's a lock. I mean, his performance each and every single week basically puts him there, right? Over Tyler King, just overall, just much faster. But 6 points at this place with 18 drivers, I would, might be a little bit of a surprise for some of these guys. And it's so hard to tell based on times. Kevin Smith right now is on top of the board in this qualifying session with 30 seconds left. Let's see, Dennis Moore's P5s. I mean, his speed looks like it's there. It's over Tyler King by a decent margin in this session, who holds 9th place in qualifying. So I don't know. We'll have to maybe wait till halfway through this race to kind of figure out who's got an advantage in the points to lock in. I don't know if either one of those could lock in for a win. So we'll just see. We'll just see how it turns about halfway through.
I am understanding that Josh Childress in 39 is not racing tonight. However, if he was present, he would be suffering a penalty from the Northwest Racing Series for a comms violation. That's all I know. Maybe if he shows up the next race, Well, actually, it says he's in the grid, 17th. Oh, well, we'll see. They're gritting. Let's go racing here tonight at Indianapolis in your starting lineup. Win Racing and Team LSRTV on the front row. Here we go as you see the beautiful skyline of the city of Indianapolis, of the Hoosier State. It is Kevin Smith, Devin West on the front row. Row number 2 will find father Dan West Jr., multi-time champion, and Christopher White. Remember, 5 and 19 are already in the championship 4. Row 3, you're going to see the drivers of Dennis Moore and Sean Brightsman. Row 4 here tonight will find Paul Newton. Jeff Stabnow, Mr. 500. He's also number 8 in the standings. He's won here before in Indy. Could he be a wild card to punch it in? And your top 10, Jeremy, is going to find in row 5 a former champion in Tyler King. He's got a shot to go back and defend. And Brett Johnson alongside of the 7 as well.
11th through 19th, we got Ryan Bloom in 11th, Frank Karras sitting in P12, row 7 and 13th. We will find James Vining in the 333, and then in 14th place, John Ottenbacher in truck 89, row 8 and 15th. Roy Grande Jr., truck 11, to the outside in 16th place, the 07 of Dana Rogers. Row 9, P17, Josh Childress in 39, Scott Hutchinson, truck number 91 and 18. And then the final driver, take the grid here, Corey Eckelbarger, truck 73. And there is your starting lineup for the second to final race in the 2025 season.
So if Childress is here, then he would suffer a penalty. Guess I was he go to the rear. Charles, can you give us more information on that? So he has a comms violation, which means he basically will not be allowed to communicate with the iRacing chat. Well, they just made him go to the pits.
Yeah. That was interesting.
Gotcha. Now, is this from a violation of last week at from last week's race? Gotcha. Okay. Trying to remember where we were last week.
Well, great news.
Atlanta.
We're at Atlanta Motor
We were at
Speedway.
old school Atlanta. Yeah. So, all right. Well, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway is a very unique racetrack. It looks like a rectangle. It has a long straightaway, one of the longest straightaways in racing. On the front and the back in the same configuration. There is also the short chutes in turn 3 and 4, turns 1 and 2 into the corner. And the racetrack is just so unique, the history. And it is only fitting, Jeremy, as they work into the final corners in the short chute through 3 and 4, that this will be the penultimate race to determine who goes to the championship finale next week at Chicagoland. Pace truck is about to dart onto the pit lane. It goes hard left. Here comes the field, ready to come to the box. Here they come. Indianapolis semifinal, penultimate race. Who's going to the final 4? We're green. It's go time.
Oh
Indy.
no,
we got
Dennis
trouble.
Moore. Oh, Tyler King, Dennis Moore in their 2-point battle.
What in the world happened?
No. That was, like I said, we got to wait till halfway to see what happens, man. The
Kevin
two guys in
Smith
points
looked
battling.
Oh, my.
What going on
Oh,
here?
no. Looked
Kevin
like Kevin
Smith.
Smith might have been in the wrong gear, Jeremy. Look at this.
Yeah.
He might have, look at this. And he bottlenecked the field. Look at this behind them.
He had a great start. He went down. Maybe he misshifted into fourth. Check up from the 27,
Oh,
44,
no.
and the 21 comes in after. It looks like the 89's around. Damage. More so to the 44. He's got heavy left front damage. Tyler King should be okay. Dennis Moore, though, had some downforce issues early for the 44. We can take another look here on the LSRTV replay.
Watch it
I
again.
think he gets on the gas good. Tyler King, or Kevin Smith does, but I think he misses a shift, gets bumped, little bottleneck. Paul Newton shifts the 44. Ouch. That's
Unbelievable.
playoff implications. Corner 1. Lap 1.
This is not what you wanted to see happen, especially in the early going. And Dennis Moore,
My, oh my.
who we, by the way, said could possibly get in by virtual point.
Yeah.
And he's a teammate to win racing's Kevin Smith. You know, Kevin didn't want to do that to his teammate. I mean, this is crazy. And I'm understanding that Corey Eckelbarger and Josh Childress went to the pits. They did not start the race.
Well, that and looks like Dennis Moore had a 19-second stop. He's exiting pit road. So either A, he's
Wow.
coming back around again to service for the second time, or he's actually done with the 19 seconds. We'll see what Dennis Moore does on this coming lap. He's still got damage on that truck, so I don't know. That thing can't be fully repaired.
And remember, Jeremy, there's no fast repair in this series.
No, zero.
Like, I mean, he's going to have to, like, go down pit lane as much as he can under caution to try to get its service done, fixed. Look, oh, wow, look at that.
Yeah, look at the left front. I think it's actually turned to the right, if I'm not mistaken. That wheel is turned to the right. Yeah, that thing's not turning left. So this is worse than what I thought it was initially. I thought it was just going to be aerodynamic problems, but we'll see. Does he come down pit road? The pace truck lights are on. Take a look at the scoring here. Yeah, Dennis Moore coming back on pit road. We're going to focus on that just because he is the guy who has been tracking to be in the Final Four just based on points alone. But after this, no, he's going to have some things go his way to make it in. Tyler King, the 21, he's been on pit road for 49 seconds. See him right there on the screen. It's almost an entire minute. For the other guy that's going in on points, so just like that, third and fourth just completely shifted out so far early. Insane stuff going on at Indianapolis.
Oh, boy, oh, boy.
Well, we gotta
Is
reset,
there any
man.
way? Is there any way that we could get a on board with Kevin Smith? I don't know if there's a way we can look at the RPM, look at the gauges, I guess. Is that what it is? Yeah. Something like that.
The good old, is what I like to call the Oakley visor cam. Be a good viewpoint of something. We could see the misshift from Kevin if we rode on board with his helmet cam.
Yeah.
We can see Paul Newton check up, because Paul Newton was the one who shipped Dennis Moore into the wall.
Oh, he said we can't show it now.
ATVO not holding up for what our standards need. I know SDK, you get a forever amount of time to replay all the incidents that happened, but I guess we're kind of limited here on the ATV side of not be able to backtrack after a couple laps, which is okay. We recovered it 3 times, but
well, anyhow, we'll try this again.
yeah. That's insane, man. Completely wild start. And the two guys tracking to be in on points alone, not by a win, just to be taken out before even turn 1 on the first opening lap. Didn't have that in my bingo card.
So let's try to set it up for you. As right now, we keep an eye on Dennis Moore. That is the pretty much developing story, as Dennis Moore in 44 all the way in the back, and he is on the lead lap, but he's in 17th. So that's something that we'll have to keep an eye on. Because right now, West and White on the front row, they're going to be side by side. Remember Christopher White, Devin West, they're already in the Championship 4 finale next week in Chicagoland. Pace truck is in, Jeremy. Here they come back to green, lap 4 of 80. We're back underway.
Let's see if we get through the gears here correctly. A lot more stable. A couple, oh man, a little quick move there for the 55. He's going to keep the double zero right behind him. As we get through turn 1, looks like no issues here. Into turn 2. We got Christopher White locked into the playoffs in 2 weeks from tonight. Out here just taking a nice little joyride. I'm out here in the front half of this field. Devin West leading, of course. The other guy locked in, so no surprise the top 2 guys in the next race is going to be at the front here early. Everybody else behind them. Tracking, they can get in on points now if that damage seems to keep the 44 and the 21 at bay. So it's up for grabs, completely up for grabs. Who's going to take 3rd or 4th place with a pass here? Jeff Staff out to the inside of Kevin Smith to complete their lap number 4 here. We'll find out.
Devin West up in front. Oh, Kevin Smith. Wow. Contact there with Johnson. Smoke from the double zero. 5 of 80.
A little brake lock or a touch of the truck. Not sure, but yeah, smoking off that thing for sure. Now he's following Brett Johnson, truck 7. So Kevin Smith early in the going. Not looking like he's going to carry the short run speed. As we're keeping up to date on Tyler King and Dennis Moore. Dennis Moore already 9 seconds back. That truck is not driving. So Tyler King is 4 seconds back. So Dennis Moore is basically out of not only the contention of this race, but the championship hopes have all but shattered, unless other drivers up front have some issues too. We'll see if he can get some more damage repaired on that 44. Right now, not looking good.
Battle for the lead. Christopher White, who knows Indy very well, puts the 19 to the lead. Oh, and by the way, Jeremy, if West or White, one of the champion 4 guys, win the race, I mean, it's going to be ever more important for, obviously, like Dennis Moore or others, to get as many positions on the track that he can.
Yeah, based on right now, that, ooh, the 46, Sean Bryce went wicked loose on the turn. He's a barrel for turn 2 here. He's still sideways. Breitzman hanging on tight here with the truck. Sean Breitzman now holds 3rd place in points as it currently runs. So he's in it by that virtue. 4th place then would be shifted to Dan West Jr. in the 55, who's also 4th place. So basically this 46 and 55 are duking it out for who's 3rd and 4th. So these are the final 2 transfer spots right here. So if they run this position all race long, it'll be these top 4 trucks literally going on into Chicago.
Christopher White, Devin West. Right, don't count out Sean Breitzman. He might be one of the guys in the battle for the... No, actually, I think we're back. He's in 5th. West and White going to locked in. Dennis Moore, Tyler King, Sean Breitzman, Dan West Jr., Paul Newton, Jeff Stapp. Now, I'll be honest with you, it opened the door wide open after what happened to Dennis Moore at the start of the race with Kevin Smith over here.
It truly did. It truly did. And so if these guys hang on to the long run, it'll be like this. But Stab now, he's hanging on tight there in that P5 position, still underneath 1 second of your race leader. And it looks like it's a log jam through these corner sets. So if Jeff can find a way to make a pass here to get himself into 4th, 3rd, 2nd, he might have a decent amount of speed to try to chase down this 19, who's kind of had a stellar start the second start of this race. He's got about a half a second lead, spacing himself out about 5 truck lengths or such into turn 3. Here we go on lap 10. 19 just looks like he's so hooked up. He's getting below that white line, and he is not budging. This truck is looking very good so far in the early going.
A lot of people are donning pink on their trucks for October and Breast Cancer Awareness Month, like Christopher White. It is Christopher White, Devin West right now, and I'll tell you what, Jeremy, White not only got around West for the lead, he's pulled away for the lead. Nobody has got to the 19 yet, and Devin West is under attack on his teammates of Brightsman and West and Stabnow right behind him. That is a 4-truck LSRTV battle for second.
We're chasing down the non-LSRTV truck of Christopher White, who continues to have that half a second lead over the 5-truck Devin West at this time. Exiting turn 4, lap 11. Oh no, this is going to be huge.
Oh, wow, and Stabnow and Dan West Jr. getting together, crashing.
No,
Caution
more
out, they're not
contact.
done wrecking yet. Oh, no.
More playoff implications. Dan West Jr.
Is that Kevin
had
Smith?
Dan West Jr. had it on points. He was locked in, P4.
Wow.
So now this is the 3rd person going to the playoffs, final race of the year, and it's going to happen hard. Little wiggle off of 4, slams the outside wall, finds Jeff Stabnow, and just deleted himself. But we're not done. Here comes Kevin Smith. Kaboom! What a heavy hit.
And is that
My
Dennis
gosh.
Moore again getting a piece of it?
No, Dennis Moore's way out. That was Ryan Bloom coming through late.
Ryan Bloom. There you go. I knew it was the yellow truck. My apologies. That was Ryan Bloom. Oh, my goodness. Wow.
But Kevin Smith was the one who slammed him and went air.
Another look at it. Watch this. You're on board now with Kevin Smith. He never lifted until the end. And then it was too late. Unbelievable.
I think that's gonna remove Kevin Smith from the race. Dan West Jr. I think is done. So this is why you stay out. And Dennis Moore, you feel deflated, right? You're thinking you're out.
Oh, yeah.
But then you have something like this happen. You're like, oh, well, maybe I still do have a shot at maybe getting in on points. So they are double faking, 50% in, 50% out here, splitting it down the pathway.
And I'm understanding Dan West Jr. is out of the race. Wow.
Yeah, that truck has to have major engine damage. I didn't think there was a chance of him coming back onto the field after that one. That was just directly perpendicular hit to the inside wall, nose first. Worst case scenario for Dan West. He thought he was out, then he was in, and now he's back out. Hard luck, and this track is not playing well to our playoff drivers. It is completely insane. Now look at this guy. Went from 5th to 2nd on that transaction after pit stop rotation plus the wreck with the 55.
Just about 25 miles into this race, and just the championship 4 bracket has been threw off its axis, if you will. Dennis Moore, problems. He's on pit road. He's still trying to get fixed from damage. Dan West Jr., who you thought was going to be a lock to go into the championship 4 by at least by points. The multi-time, 3-time series champion is now out. He has to literally seal his fate and hope that he could make it in by virtue of what goes on the racetrack. That is something now, Jeremy, that he cannot control. He can't control his destiny now. He has to wait to see what happens at the end of 200 miles here at Indy tonight. Wow.
Yeah, and based on points, he's done because he backed out entirely, right? Tyler King, Dennis Moore, they're still on track, and they are ahead of the 55. So Dan West Jr., 100% done. He is eliminated after that wreck on lap 11. Absolutely heartbreaking for sure. Dennis Moore and Kevin Smith, they're both on pit road for over a minute's worth of time. Kevin Smith might be done too. That hit was so hard to the front of his truck. I wouldn't be surprised if he parks it for the night. There's just no way he's going to be up to speed. So, all right, this is a lottery, man. This is a complete lottery of who's in and who's out. We don't know until the checkered flag's going to fly.
It changes now, right? Everything has
It's flip-flopped
totally
twice in
swung
10
off
laps.
its axis. Yes, sir. You're exactly right.
So
One to go
insane.
indication being given. We'll try to go back for it again here. My goodness.
Have you ever
By
seen
by
a
the way,
playoff race?
don't forget, next week we are off. Next Monday night we are off. And the reason we are off is because the Final Four will be locked in. They are taking off to let everybody, but most importantly, the championship four, get an opportunity to get some seat time, have like a practice session they can fit here if they take that opportunity, if they choose to. We'll come back November the 3rd. That'll be November the 3rd. The championship finale will be decided, of course, at Chicagoland. I don't know why he's saying Viva Las Vegas. It's not Vegas. Chicagoland will determine the championship. And it will be a wild one at the 1.5 miles. We saw it in ARCA, Jeremy, when Devin West won the title. And by the way, he's trying to do something that's never been done before in Northwest history, and that is to win both titles of the sanctionings of the same season. Devin West, he can do it.
Yeah, you said it's been a minute since we ran a second series. It's all focused on trucks. And
I think it was
series
2
this
years
year.
ago, 3 years ago, Jeremy, we used to have like a Cup Series for an Xfinity Series. And then obviously they took off last season, just trucks only. Obviously this year it is trucks and ARCA. Devin West already wins the championship in that. Now we'll see what happens here as we go back to green for the trucks in Indy. And by the way, Jeff Snap down and Chris White now battling for the lead.
A lot of space. And look at this. Third lane being used. I'm sure that was on accident, but sliding up to see some dust kicking off the turn 2 because they ran out into that area where there's no rubber laid down. And some spacing out in the field already. Your top 3 to a 1 second advantage over 4th on back. So you're still battling side by side off of turn 3. Now Tyler King, welcome back to the top 10 after getting that truck repaired. Currently holding P7 right now. Dennis Moore still not repaired. He's back to 4.4 seconds and dropping. So he still needs more work to that truck. But Tyler King has recovered. Let's see how much he has recovered. So he is back well into his playoff picture.
The LSRTV Championship finale will be again Monday, November 3rd. And by the way, we still have coverage of the Leadfoot Racing League, LFRL, and the Ross Dalton Racing Driver Development. We've also got the big December series coming up. I don't know if you call that, Jeremy, on LSRTV and Leadfoot TV similar end. We've got the Pro 5 Late Model Challenge, the RDR, the LFRL, another 5-race series that kind of mimic what the Pro Cup series used to be back in the day. So that's coming up during the winter. Still got a thing planned. You never know. Charles might come up with something. Actually, not taking off. R&R. Charles with the offseason, Jeremy. So there
That
you
was
go.
the fastest question ever answered by Mr. Wooten. He said no the moment you asked him. He was ready, essentially, for that question. Yeah. Look at him. He's not sleeping tonight. He said he's tired, but he instantly seems like he's full of energy back there, just working the magic behind the scenes here. I guess that's tonight is powered by coffee. That's from Charlie. Proud sponsor of Charlie.
Powered by coffee, coffee power.
Yeah, up and ready. Some racing. Still got a long one ahead of us as we're approaching 25% completed in the next several months.
By the way, we're closing in on 50 miles completed. One quarter of the way through. Championship decided in 2 weeks. The LSRTV finale. Northwest Racing Series. Crazy that the year has gone by. But it will be in the books. And then we'll come back again. Maybe we start earlier next year, Jeremy, right? I mean, they kind of, I'm not trying to curse you, but I mean, you know, it's like end of March when we started this year, you know? I didn't curse anything. What did I curse? What did I say? I said nothing bad. Oh, early. Oh, you know, I mean, I you know, we started what, mid-March when we did it. So like maybe we start February this year. Jared, what do you think? What's that?
The boot button, huh? Great question. Do we have one?
I mean, I know he can boot me off Discord. I know that much. And he just did it. How come I time out and I get booted? You always stay where you're at. You stay. I don't understand. That's not fair.
I mean, it makes sense. He's pressing the buttons.
That's it. Well, everybody, we're talking Discord in case people didn't know our communications of how we talk to each other in the booth. Now you know, the more you know.
G.I. Joe.
All right. 50 miles into this thing here, Jeremy, when they come to the line, and it's all Christopher White. I told you, man, this guy's been good in the past. He's won here in the past, and right now he is the man that's leading the way, we think.
Yeah, Chris is just putting on a great case or showcasing of speed here. Keeping a decent lead, but looks like Breitzman got some speed. Looking underneath Jeff Stab now. This is for second and third place, and just in one corner. Look at that, Breitzman. Clearing the 24. Now he's going to do the snake chase game with 19 down the back straightaway. Very typical of Indianapolis. Try to break the draft. And if you just follow the truck, you keep the draft and you get the speed. So he's going to try to track him down. 0.4 is the gap here. 1/4 of the way through this race. Lap 22 after we get to the start-finish line here on this straightaway. And then it's starting to clean up a little bit. A lot of spacing. You see it right there. The whole front stretch in view. And there's still trucks exiting off turn 4 now as the leaders are getting to turn number 1. Looks like Paul Newton's trying to take a look under Stab now for P3. Jeff drives it in deep. He has to check up. Allows Paul to get to the inside here. Turn 2. Close quarters. You have to pinch the driver down on the inside to carry the speed on the outside lane. Jeff does not get it done. Allows Paul to get the run. Here comes Tyler King with the draft assistance. Going to help Paul clear Jeff. Does he go underneath or stay put? He stays, and he gets the 24 cleared as well.
Christopher White still in the lead right now. Again, he's the fastest man on the racetrack. He set the fastest lap. Oh, 51.815 seconds. Sean Breitzman second, Paul Newton third, Tyler King, Jeff Stapp now top 5. We need to pause for station identification if you're listening on CRM.
Local radio brings people together like never before.
It's a beautiful hometown weekend out there. We've got
Your local stations keep you informed and involved with music, talk shows, and real-time news updates you can trust. We are live and local. We are America's broadcasters, connecting you to what matters most. Text radio to 52886 and tell Congress to support your local radio stations.
Message and data rates may apply. You may receive up to 4 messages a month, and you may text stop to stop.
This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
This is the Community Radio Network, WCRN, 87.9 FM, Clayton, Garner, Smithfield, North Carolina. Proud to be in the USA. We are CRN.
There we go. And Jeremy, I don't know if you knew that or not, but CRN is a proud member of the National Association of Broadcasters. We did that this year.
I mean, I'm glad we are, because I was cracking my ass off laughing at that miscue of a button, but I'm glad it's associated. Because that was just... That's fantastic. Well, there we go. You got 2 plugs in one. Check that out.
And I'm gonna have to send the bill to Charles. He's gonna blackmail me to make me commit to something else for another year. I've already got a lifetime contract for the one to go. He forgets that. We done that years ago, right? Oh my goodness. Brightsman now in the lead. All this happened while we were in the middle of station identification. Christopher White has fell back to the 4th position. Brightsman now up in front. And remember, Brightsman, Paul Newton, Jeremy, here's guys, okay? Here they are. Here's drivers that are in the championship round of 8. And they got a shot, right? I mean, they got a shot to win this race and go to the championship 4 and join Weston White.
They do. They do get a shot. Because White's slipped up quite a bit. So right now, Brightsman in by a win at this current state of the race. He is sitting in the best possible position. Paul Newton, he is in points. He could win this race. So these 2 guys looking to get in virtue of a win. Brightsman can possibly still do it on points. I think he's still got Dennis Moore locked up because Dennis is still back in 14th. So Brightsman doesn't need the win per se, but if he can finish in the top 2 or 3, he should be just fine. Paul Newton, though, must win to be in. So Paul is going to be on the hunt here. Do what he can. Don't overdo the tires, of course, but right now he's got a very good truck. And don't you call him the road course king, right? So
I do. Yeah, I do.
And this is a track that resembles a road course, if you will, with the flatter corners. So it's playing to his favor, apparently.
Remember, 40 laps will be 100 miles. We're closing in on 30 laps. It'll be 75 miles of this race. And we had, what do we have, 2 cautions? Let's take a look at the race summary so far. Presented by Virginia. 811.com. Brian and you to dig with care. 2 yellow flags, 6 caution laps. So 21 of 27 laps have been under green, 6 under yellow. 2 lead changes. That's been it. And that was what happened between, of course, Kevin Smith on the start, Christopher White getting the lead, and then just a moment ago was Sean Brightsman taking the lead as well.
And he's
Jeremy, we had guys pit around lap 12 and 13. What's the next time you think they're going to be coming down to the pit lane here?
I'm kind of debating that myself, and I'm thinking, 30 laps on a run, which would put them around lap 40-ish, which would make a tight second run. You'd probably have to come down again if it's around 30 laps. So I'd be curious. Try to keep your eye on around that 40, maybe 45. That's my assumption anyways on the fuel strategy. So if that's the case, like I said, make it really tight for the final stint there. Might have to have 5 or 10 laps left, and you may come down pit road just to have a little qualifying session to close the thing out. Unless, of course, there's a caution. That could always change things up, which has been very crucial tonight, I would say.
It has happened before, right? I mean, bottom line.
Yeah.
I mean, many good drivers, guys that we would not. I mean, Dan West Jr., championship hopes dashed. Kevin Smith, by the way, on the pit lane. Obviously, one of the guys in the round of 8, but whenever he had his problems, it took out guys like Dennis Moore and Dan West Jr., Jeff Stabnow. These are guys that are teammates that were racing and that accident happened. And you see now where Brightsman, the number 5 seed, he's on the outside looking in, but with a win, you're in the championship 4. Paul Newton, by the way, he's in second. Okay, so if Dan West Jr. out, if Sean Brightsman wins, Tyler King or Paul Newton could go to the championship 4 by points, Jeremy. It's crazy, but there are so many scenarios that could determine what the final 2 spots will be decided for.
And it's not over yet. Things can change in a hurry at Indianapolis. And this battle is so important right here on your screen. We'll probably be showcasing these 2 trucks as long as they stay up front like this. Because Paul needs the win. Brightsman just needs to maintain his spot, or at least within a few. I touched on that, so we'll see what Paul can do to here on the 46. Tyler King, look at the recovery from the 21. 3rd place. This man is up 6 spots from the initial lap 1 wreck. He had a lot of right side damage. Looks like he got that all cleaned up. The truck's performing wonderfully. And he's not done. He still might have a chance at getting to this race lead, which would pose a huge threat for Paul Newton if he can get there. He's tracking. He's running faster lap time. So he will be there if he continues this current pace up. And then Christopher White, 3.5 seconds back. He is all short run. He needs to figure out this long run. As we got a truck on pit road, it looked like Jeff Stabnow, the 24, and Brett Johnson, truck 7. So maybe well, actually, some of these guys didn't come down pit road, so this actually makes sense.
That's right.
The drivers who stayed out like Stabnow, this is it. So lap 32, which is close to actually to my guesstimation on the fuel strategy. 32 laps. The trucks are coming in, so I would expect the guys who did pit to come down in about 5 or 10 laps.
So if you think about these guys, they're gonna pit again roughly about lap 60. So it'll be about a two stop race, if you will. So I know that most of these guys pitted between lap 12 and 13. Now we're seeing these guys pit on exit. Stabnow, Johnson, Ottenbacher, Smith now exiting. Here comes now Christopher White. He's coming down to the pit lane now. Wow. So he's pitting 32 laps, and he'll come down to the pit lane here.
All right, there we go. And there's one more, 2 more. Looks like is that
Harris
Dan West? No. Yeah, Vining. Frank Harris. So 3 trucks currently on pit road.
By the way, Christopher White pitting for the first time tonight. He has not pitted until now. So he stretched it over 75, 80 miles before he came down to the pit lane.
And then Frank Harris pitting. He's actually been on, this is his 3rd time on pit road, so averaging about 10 laps of pit stop. So kind of surprised there. I think he may have had damage on one of those wrecks prior. I didn't catch if he did or not, but. And that might have been the truck that flew through that wreck there with Kevin Smith.
Yep. Only a couple more drivers that pitted 3 times, and that is Paul Newton in second. Obviously, Dennis Moore. And Frank Harris pitting 3 times as you just pitted. Dennis Moore, by the way, involved in that accident on the start. He has climbed his way, tiptoeing, if you will, back out of the top 10. If we want to show him real quickly in the production truck, he's in the 8th position right now, the number 44, just in his own world, if you will. Jeremy, that's honestly what he's doing. I think he's running his own race. Truck is damaged. He can't risk messing it up any more than what it already is. He's comfortably in the top 10. I think he's points racing right here. Don't want to make anybody mad, but that's exactly what I think he's trying to do to lock in to go to Chicagoland for the championship 4, as Ryan Bloom now comes down to the pit lane in 25.
Yeah, Dennis, just look at that time, though. He is 34 seconds behind the race leader. So he will cycle back down, but he has to stay out. You're right. He has to just do his thing and hope others kind of fall the way he did to recover enough to be in hopes of a communication from us to say, hey, you're in the points for the final race. But not looking like it as we're getting close to the halfway mark here. Here's Ryan Bloom, the 25 on pit road. Got a couple of trucks left to come down on this green flag stint, which is continuing up towards of lap 40, where you'll see the final drivers come down pit. And then everybody has one more green flag stop left ahead of them to close this race out.
Let's give you your top 10 now as we're closing in, believe it or not, to the halfway mark of this one here at the world's greatest race course in Indianapolis. Race time heading about 38 minutes post, and we are 4 laps away to the cross flags in this one. Sean Brightsman is in the lead. He leads the way. Paul Newton is second. Tyler King third. You see those drivers now with Annenbacher. That's the truck that's fighting to stay on the lead lap. Just getting past Mike first and second. Brightsman, Newton, Tyler King third. Devin West fourth. Roy Grande fifth. Scott Hutchinson sixth. Paul Newton, by the way, now gives up second. He drops onto the pit lane. Followed by Roy Grande, Scott Hutchinson, top 5 now. Dennis Moore, Dana Rogers, Jeff Stabnow, Christopher White, your top 10.
As you see, the 27, Paul Newton did make his way on pit road this time. So it's going to leave Brightsman and Tyler King left to come down pit road, and possibly Devin West, who's 10 seconds back. Roy Grande Jr. still needs to pit. So top 4, top 5, and that's it. That's the only ones remaining. You see 21, Tyler King. He's gained some more ground ever since Paul came down pit road. He's up to 0.7 back, about 5 or 6 truck lengths. That's the distance between the race leader and the guy hunting to be in the race lead after crashing on lap 1. He's got that long run speed, something that's very important here as you're tracking the final couple laps before the halfway mark. This is looking good for Tyler, looking very good. Good recovery here to keep himself in that championship hunt.
Brightsman, King, West, Grande, Hutchinson now top 5. As we are closing in on the cross flags in this one coming up here, as we still have another 100 miles. Jeremy, what's your take as we're a couple of laps to the cross flags? Lap number 40 will be halfway. What's your take of the first 100 miles of this one? You're still a long way to go.
Triple espresso shot to start the race, and then the caffeine fade off as we get to the halfway mark. It's really just calmed down and been just a matter of just hitting your marks and having a clean race. That's what the halfway mark looks like. But that front 10, 15 laps, my God, how eventful was that? Probably the most eventful opening half a race that this league has either ever seen or hasn't seen in a long time. And I'm glad that's finally kind of calmed down here as we're just getting to the good racing that the Northwest Truck Series always presents every single late Monday night. Off at turn 4 this time to bring it to lap 40. So next time around, We'll be halfway done.
Well, cross flags will come out next time around. It'll be 50% of the race completed. 100 miles down, 100 miles to go. We've given you the lineup of how everything currently stands right now. Sean Brightsman still running away with this one. And remember, Sean Brightsman is number 5. He's on first man on the outside looking in. Now, obviously, we don't have the fancy graphics that NASCAR timing and scoring does to let you know what points in each lap and each position changes. But obviously, Sean Brightsman, Jeremy, doing the right thing to not only pick up a win, but also punch his ticket in to the championship 4. If he continues to play nice, it'll be win number 2 of the season. Only one win this year for the driver originally from Puyallup, Washington.
And these two guys running first and second, if they can maintain. They're the 2 drivers in. Paul Newton with that earlier pit is going to be the deciding factor on where they end up. It's a 46-21. When they come down pit road, it'll be shortly. It's going to be very shortly. I would imagine no more than just 2 or 3 more laps, and we'll see them on. They'll still have to make that one more green flag pit stop. I don't think they're going to be able to escape it with one and done. See if they come off of 41. Do they come down this time? It's got to be shortly. The answer is no. They're going to continue to run forward through. As the 21 is he's been floating, right? He floated between like 1 and 1.2 seconds back of the 46 for, 4 or 5 laps. And then he had a little short burst of speed. He got up to about 0.6, 0.7. And now he's just been kind of hanging there, but slowly just creeping his way closer. 0.5 is the gap. It's the first time we've seen that. Goes back to 0.6 on the back straightaway. Snake effect. Try to break the draft. Works a little bit there. And Charles Wooten, I guess 3 laps from now, we're going to see the 46. We'll hold him true. Does he come on a lap 45? Maybe this time he's looking a little low on that little short shoot there. That might be a signal to say I'm coming down. And the answer is no, not this time. But a little wiggle from the 46. King, all of a sudden, 0.3 away.
Hey, we haven't done this in a while. We need to take a break. If something happens. We're waiting to see if somebody's going to come into the pit.
We'll do it after. We'll do it after. It's fine.
Trying to help him make his field.
Charles said, I'm leading this thing, Wesley.
Tell you what, Sean Brightsman. Here he comes. Will he pit? That's the question. Last time he pitted was at lap 12. Why are you thinking he's going to pit any lap? Is that what you heard from the radio, Charles? Oh.
This time
Here
it is.
Here he comes. The hell are you talking about? Here he comes. He's in. Brightsman's in. The Blizzard Dairy Queen. His favorite dessert, by the way. Sean told me that. He's like, I love my Blizzard. I love my Dairy Queen.
You know, if you're going to put them on your truck, it better be your favorite dessert. That's why my truck should be sponsored by Reese's.
Do you have a Reese's truck? Is that what you said?
I don't, but it should be. I need one. Oreo is actually probably ultimately my favorite.
Have you tried? Did you say Oreo?
Yeah, Oreos are. I guess I've never.
Well, speaking of pardon the pun, both of them. Have you tried the Reese's Oreo cups? Have you tried them?
I've tried those, the regular size and the minis. I've tried the reverse side where it's the peanut butter Oreos. I've tried them all.
Yeah, did you like them? Do you think they were good?
Yeah, the peanut butter cookie they're just peanut butter cookies. There's nothing fancy. But the Reese's cup, however.
It's a Reese's cup with the Oreo cookie in it.
Yeah, the Oreo cookie. It's white chocolate on top, regular chocolate on the bottom. Those things, hands down, top 3 best Reese's of all time.
Really? You think it's in the top 3 best Reese's ever?
All time.
What about the Easter egg Reese's? I mean, you know, it's still technically the same Reese's, right?
No, it's not.
Egg.
It's not.
Oh,
We had
it's
this
not?
conversation earlier, not between me and you, but co-workers of mine. Halloween ones right now, the bat-shaped ones, there's different ingredients listed on the packaging to mold the shape differently. They have to use different ingredients. They are technically different, and you can
Really?
taste them. Yeah, fun fact. Just check the packaging of both. It's quite surprising how many different things are listed. Rest on Pit Road. Yeah, the Reese's Fast Break has always been my favorite Reese's candy bar. The
Why do you like
Outrageous
the fast
is pretty
break?
good.
What, we're talking
The
about
nougat.
snacks here. Halloween
Nougat.
candy, right? Halloween candy.
Yes, the nougat in a candy bar is top tier.
Because it's Halloween candy, ain't it? I mean, it's like Halloween
Hey, we're not
candy.
live.
Yeah.
We're not live after tonight until after Halloween, so. Uh-oh, Devin West, truck 5. Black
Clearance
flag.
sale must go.
probably
Get all
too
the Halloween
fast
candy.
on
What is
entry.
it go on clearance? Like 89% off the next day, right? After Halloween. That's when you go buy all the candy.
You're not wrong. You snipe it. You go there at Walmart at 12:01 when they used to be open at midnight. Thanks, COVID. Snipe it. You have to snipe at 8 o'clock in the morning the next day. Paul Newton ahead of Jeff Stabnow. Speaking of some racing on the track, he's currently your race leader, of course. Pitted 10 laps earlier, so he's got the fresher set of tires up until now. So let's see, what's that? 13 seconds for Tyler King, 12 seconds from Brightsman. That's a larger gap than I expected. 12 seconds off in those 10 laps. So it was just about, what, 1.1, 1.2 seconds between the fastest part of the tire and the slowest part of the tire. So that's something to keep an eye on. Let's see if those guys can retrack down the road course guy doing it on a rectangle.
All right. Let's go to
Reese's Fast
commercial
Break.
break. We'll come back. Jeremy's getting some Reese's Fast Break. We're going to take a break. When I come back, we'll come back. We'll finish this race, everybody. Stay with us. Indianapolis, we had some crazy fireworks in the beginning, but now we're in the green flag stretch to the finish. Paul Newton now trying to punch his ticket in to the championship four with a win. Back after this.
Hi, welcome to Day Motorsports. Come on, check out what we got.
Thank you for keeping Day Motorsports in business for over 50 years.
What really sets On Demand shirts apart from everybody else is our people. Our people really care about every job that comes through here and they treat it as their own. That paired with state-of-the-art equipment that we use on everything that we touch, that's really what ends up providing the top-notch quality that you guys come to.
Hey, it's Wesley Outland, the voice of the Northwest Racing iRacing series on LSRTV and proudly again on the Community Radio Network. As always, we're excited for another season of the best iRacing Pacific drivers of the Northwest putting on a show that you all enjoy every Monday night. Join us also on LSRTV or listen on the Community Radio Network at wearecrn.com. The power of radio to the imagination of the listener, iRacing style, CRN LSRTV for the Northwest Racing Series. Back here at the world's greatest race course in Indianapolis. Jeremy Stanley, I'm Wesley Outlet, Charles Wooten on production. 30 laps to go, 125 miles completed, 75 miles left in the penultimate race of the season. Who's going to be in the championship 4? Paul Newton says, it's my time now.
Would it be wild? I'm just thinking about this here in real time. Paul Newton still has this 8-second lead over Brightsman, who is tracking still with that 10-lap fresher tire. What would happen if Paul Newton were to pit right now? Right now. He's in the fuel window to completing this race. Maybe he waits a couple more laps for any overtime attempt. What if he pits right now? Do you think giving up the lead now and then having the faster truck for another stint of laps, do you think that would lock him in essentially to winning this race? Or do you think that would fail coming to the closing?
So here's my take. I know everybody's going to have to pit again. The only thing is you know they're going to be in different sequences. Unless you go for the undercut. Okay, so what I mean by that is like, okay, Sean Brightsman pitted at lap 43. Roy Grande, 43. Dennis Moore, 42. Devin West, 45. Now, if they come back down to the pit lane, let's say at lap 65, 70, are they 10 laps shy? That's going to be something to consider. Now, if they come down to the pit lane, is somebody that pitted around lap 31, 32 going to take a chance? Like Paul Newton, like Jeff Stabnow, Christopher White. The good guys that have pitted quicker is going to be something we're going to watch. Who's going to go for that undercut, Jeremy? That's something I'm really going to say that we need to watch, because it's Paul Newton, though he's leading the race. If somebody like Devin West or one of them hit with, 10 laps to go? Because I'm not thinking they're going to go to distance. I really don't.
They're not.
You follow
They're
me.
not going. Yeah.
You call their bluff.
Yeah, 32, 33, that's it. So they laps. So that's everyone's coming down pit road just one more time. And I really feel like, just looking at the numbers right now, if Paul Newton pits right now to close this race out, as long as there's not another yellow flag, which you have to consider, I think he wins the race in here. Is he on pit road right now? Yeah. No, Stab knows. I think this is a great call. I really do. Cut this thing early, carry the speed, because you're not going to find others come down pit road for another while, at least for the majority of the field. So you're going to be the fastest truck for a while now. And this should put him ahead of Paul Newton if he does happen to stay out in his entire fuel run. I like the early pit. I think this is the winning call for Paul or Jeff. Maybe Jeff can lock himself in, man. 8th place in points. Imagine him winning this race based on this call. May not happen, but he's worth a shot.
And look at this. Stabnow's in. Grande's in. Vining's in.
Oh, is he trying? No, he's got lips.
Christopher White in on pit road. Fastest man on the right of one. 51.683. He's on the pit lane.
A lot of guys
Johnson
going for the
on
short.
pit road. How about this? Boy, did I call it, or I call it perfectly. I can't believe it. Look at these guys coming to the pits.
Yeah, I just, based on numbers, it makes sense to do the shortcut on pit road. So we're absolutely correct on this. They're feeling the same way as we were. Now, who does the long
And how
stint?
important is tires? How important is tires compared to fuel, Jeremy? Because, you know, we're at a speedway that's 2 miles, but you don't drive Indianapolis like you do Daytona or Talladega or Atlanta, the new Atlanta. You don't.
So, yeah, I feel like the tire wear isn't that bad. And I say that because all the green flag laps, the entire stint equaled about the same lap sequence. There's about 30 to 33 laps. There's not like a huge difference in the amount of laps that he drove on their fuel runs. That tells me they were constricted onto their fuel versus their tires. So it's smoke here. I wonder what happened there, but no, I think it's a fuel miles thing. I don't think it's a tire situation.
Paul Newton in the lead. He hasn't pitted yet. Win Willie. Last time he pitted was lap number 36. 43, 44, 34, 31, 53, 54. When those guys pitted, like Jeff Stabnow, like Christopher White. The advantage now, is it going to go to those guys that just pitted a moment ago? And obviously, and I don't want to talk about the elephant in the room, Jeremy, but we could always give a late race caution, and that throws the entire into another perspective.
I am really, at this point, just cheering on Paul Newton to come down pit road early. I want to see how well this works, because if you pit right now, Breitzman obviously is faster than Newton, but if Newton comes down now, he's going to force Breitzman to make two choices. Either A, follow suit right away, but then he's going to be on the same lap time. Now, here comes Breitzman out. Breitzman kind of takes the early pit. So you're going to force the second, third place truck to pit early with, which then will defeat anything that they're doing, or it's going to make them stay out and have like qualifying laps at the end of the session. So I feel like being in control of the race is what Paul needs to get himself into the playoffs. He needs this win. He's in a fantastic spot. I think the early pit is the way to go. We've seen a lot of drivers think the same way.
Here comes Breitzman, by the way. There he's under the pit lane. Pit stops. Paul Newton's in. Here he comes. Ladies and gentlemen, Newton's in. So is Tyler King. Lap number 58 of 80. This will let them go to the finish. And here they come. So, okay, let's say they all followed the same sequence, but they did it between a 3 to 5 lap window, Jeremy.
Yep, this is huge because remember, whenever Breitzman came down the first time, he was 12 seconds back, and then he got up to 4 seconds back, so he gained 8 seconds. He had a much faster truck, obviously, but when the 27 pits, that ruins all that momentum he was carrying into basically nothing. Now they're on a clean slate minus a couple laps. So all that speed is gone. The difference, though, from the lead and second place is still there. It's still about that 3 to 4 second range, and now they're going to be running almost identical lap times. I think that's why the shortcut means so much to make it happen. And this is going to play the 27's favor. But Breitzman did take that lap so earlier, so he might shortcut that gap a little bit more. We'll see as they cross the line here the next lap or so. Which looks like it's about a 1.5 second gap.
Ryan Bloom now leading the race in the 25. And remember, he just about got a piece of the accident with, what was it, Kevin Smith and Jeff Stabnow and obviously Dan West Jr. earlier tonight. And now the 25 having the opportunity to lead this thing. We're closing in on 20 laps to go here at Indianapolis when they come off the short chute, off turn 4. Cross the yard of bricks right about now in front of the pagoda. 20 to go, 20 to go to the side. Who's going to be the final 4 here at the end of the night here at Indy?
Coming down to complete fuel strategy to close this thing out. Doing what you can. It's been a pretty good race. A lot of mental game, a lot of chaos early, so a little bit of everything happening here this evening for the second to final race of the 2025 season. Ryan Bloom, only driver yet to pit. If he can catch a caution here in the next 5 or 10 laps, man, that 25 is going to be setting himself up for for greatness, essentially, compared to how his race has gone. If he catches a caution in the next 5 laps, everyone's going to have to come down pit road for tires, including himself, and then he's going to be sitting up there in front of the field, which he has not been all race long. So look at him playing the strategy card. Now, is the caution going to happen? Probably not, based on what the averages look like, but he's given it all he can, which is exactly this, the late run, the only driver to do it. And he can stay out here for another, about 34, 64. He's going to be about 5 laps or so before he has to come down pit road.
To finish up with this one, next week we are off, as we mentioned. We come in 2 weeks, month of November. Matter of fact, Jeremy, it's the day after the NASCAR Cup Series finale, so that they're finishing up in first weekend of November. So are we. We'll finish that Monday, Chicago.
And Monday, November 3rd is my final scheduled broadcast of the 2025 year as well, so I'll be wrapping things up personally.
No more broadcasting for you for anything?
Not until February of 26. Nothing on the docket up until then, so LSRTV's Northwest Series is my final one of the year.
Well, the new season will be here before we know it.
That's right.
What off-season anymore, right? No off-season anymore.
I mean, there's a lot of winter races. There's Christmas stuff. There's potential we're going to have. I don't know, but there's always something looming. We just need an invite. There comes Ryan Bloom on pit road. Did not get the caution he was hoping for. Got the 91 right behind him, Mr. Hutchinson, and that's it. You see Dennis Moore passing by. Very unfortunate night for the 44, out of the playoffs. Due to this is why the playoffs are. I think NASCAR is doing away with the 3-3-3-1. It really seems like the talks are it's going to be going back to a 10-race format or just a straight-up 36-race season. Most likely it's going to be a 10-race format, or at least the final championship race will be extended to 3 or 4 races, not just
yeah,
one.
That's what I've been told. I've been told that it's going to be a 36 or a 32 regular season schedule, and then the final 4 races are going to be like points. The points reset, but it's going to be a championship battle for all those guys to fight for the championship.
Yeah,
and listen, I don't want to say this in a bad way, but listen, it's become a dead horse. And you know, I love NASCAR. I work with NASCAR. I love announcing and doing all the things I do. And I don't want to make anybody mad out there. But anybody that wants to be a realist is going to tell you that it's become a dead horse. It's become the same thing, the same thing. And I'll be honest with you. I think there's people in the sanctioning bodies that feel the same way. Well, okay, we got a guy that's been hell all year long. He blows an engine. He can't make the... Listen, Ryan, prime example. Look what happened to him. Look what happened to William Byron. Now, these guys are going to have to fight their way into Martin, try to race in the championship 4. And no doubt about it, they've been competitive all year. But, that being said, though, there's the catch-22, Jeremy, just like for the Northwest as well. That's the format that everybody agreed to. Even if you don't like it, this is what we said we're going to do. And you got to remember, Northwest or NASCAR, they hold their own court. They control their own rules.
Yeah, so you can see how with 2311 in front row, there's no changing. There's no changing NASCAR unless you have all the money in the world. But when you have a lot of internal debate and everyone just wants it changed, people like, we'll take, for this race, for example, Dennis Moore should be top 2, should be battling for the championship, but no, he has one race where he gets knocked out on lap 1, not his fault, and now he can't compete for a championship. I think that's just silly, right? You work all year for this.
Dan West Jr. as well.
Yeah,
Look at DWJ.
yeah,
Look at him.
You get reset in one race, just gone. So we've seen it year in and year out in the real world stuff. You're seeing it live here tonight on the virtual side. And the leagues agree to this, sure, but the NASCAR, how they do it, and a lot of people like to follow the NASCAR stuff, which is fine. The format, which is fine. It needs to be more than just 1, 2, or 3 races. And I've always been a defender of it, right? And for me, I always reference the New York Giants versus the New England Patriots. Undefeated versus a 50-50 team, and the 50-50 team wins the trophy. It's like, if you run the old schedule style where it says 33 straight races, the Patriots are your champ. But no, your record gets just washed away in the playoffs. But at the same token, they're playing on the same field every single week. As for NASCAR, you go to Phoenix. If you're driving a Ford, you're going to win. That's just how it is.
Right.
At least on the Cup side. So I like the variance. It needs to be variance. Charles Luke says dirt races because they've been running the same point schedule since dinosaurs were around, which is awesome. Not a problem there either.
And let's be honest here, though, Jerry. The fans that are against it, okay, now, were the same fans or were the race fans before that wanted this? Who could remember the chase for the NASCAR Nextel Cup? The first time they did the chase. You remember that? What was it, 10, 12 years old? When Kurt Busch lost a tire at Homestead, Miami, coming onto the plane, and literally that could have made him or break him. And the championship because the tire rolled onto the racetrack. It didn't roll onto the pit lane. But there was that excitement. There was the battle. Remember the year, what was it, with Carl Edwards and Tony Stewart racing those, what was the last, something happened at Texas, wasn't it Texas? And Carl Edwards said something in regards to Tony Stewart, and Tony Stewart said, I'm going to run him down now. It's on. I'm going to beat him for the championship. And what did he do? He did. He beat him. But it was so awesome to watch the battle between those guys. And I think that's one to try to get back. And listen, West Racing Series, as they come to the line, it'll be 12, 11 laps to go here with Newton in the lead, Stabnow second, Bright third. Northwest, they try to do their own thing, Jeremy, but you can also see they try to mimic NASCAR. They try to do the playoff format. So if NASCAR is changing their structure for next year, what will the Northwest do? Obviously, listen, we did the ARCA series, and I don't want to say that it was a boring Thursday night program, but let's be honest. I mean, Devin West pretty much did what he needed to do week in, week out to win the championship.
Yeah, I mean, of course, it's always a two-way street. You have the respect of the 5-car, Devin West, to just go out there and just be competitive. It doesn't matter if it was a short track, road course, super speedway. Like, he was there, and so it was rightfully earned.
Well, let me take that back. Him and Ryan Bay. Ryan Bay was a standout. 10 to go, by the way. Ryan Bay was a battle. Him and Devin West were the contenders. Everyone else fell by the wayside, but it was still exciting though, and they didn't have no playoffs or elimination rounds or anything like that.
No, we sure did. And so I like a little playoff. I think we should go back to the original, just 10 races and shoot it out from there. I don't know if it needs to be 3 or 4. Like, I feel like that's still too tight. That's why in this case, Dennis Moore.
So basically, you're saying
section.
You're basically saying 26 regular season races, 10 playoff championship races, but there's not elimination rounds. Basically, there's just the points reset. You 16, 24 drivers, whoever it is, you have at it, you battle. The way it ends in 10 weeks determines who the champion is.
Yeah.
Basically, just do a regular point season.
It's a good combination, right? You know, to me, it makes sense because if people want playoffs, that's what draws the numbers into TV and draws the excitement. Sure, absolutely, you can do a little gimmick with that, but outside of that, 3 races, like it's too tight of too little margin of error, and it's been proven over and over and over and over. So, stab now, loosey goosey saves it right in front of Brightsman.
And
that could have been huge.
Wow.
But yeah, 10 races. I think it's great. It gives the long run period of the season kind of in a way, and it brings in the drama and excitement a little bit closer. I'm a fan of that format. Speaking of format, Paul Newton, remember I was cheering him on for that short pit. He did it with everybody else, and it paid off. 4 seconds is the gap. The 27, who was going to fall based on speed because of the tire difference, took the short pit, and look at him. Just all on a track by himself, gaining over second place. As long as there's not a caution, Paul Newton is going to win himself into the playoffs from 7th place in the points. He is out on points, but this is going to do it for him.
If he can hold on, right, 7 laps to go. Here comes Dennis Moore, by the way. He's onto the pit lane. See, here's drivers again that can't even go to the finish. They got to pit. Dennis Moore is pitting. 7 to go for Paul Newton. Tyler King. Could those 2 drivers punch their ticket in? Could it be enough? Right? Tyler King right now also being competitive, but look at a guy like Paul Newton. Paul Newton was number 7 seed, Jeremy. Number 7 seed. He was on the outside looking in. He's literally 7, making 6 laps away from going to the championship 4 round. And Tyler King could possibly bypass Dennis Moore as well. He is 4th coming into tonight's race. He's 2nd on the racetrack.
As long as nothing happens, there's only a 6-point gap between Dennis Moore and Tyler King. 6 points. And right now, King is up by 14 positions. So just on points alone, Tyler King and Dennis Moore out. So as it stands, as long as there's not a caution, the 27 and 21 are advancing alongside the 5 in the 19 at this point. So we know our top 4 unless we see a yellow flag or a mistake from the 27 or 21.
There's King. The interval, by the way, 4-5 seconds to get to Newton. Behind him, Sean Brightsman, who led some of the race earlier. Stab now right in tow as well. And I'm understanding Dennis Moore is out of the race. Dennis Moore out of the race. Dennis Moore, Dan West Jr. have been eliminated. That's heartbreaking, Jeremy. But this is, again, the way the format is.
Yeah, just proving that point there that we talked about. Dennis Moore, just a fantastic season. No discredit to him whatsoever. Just one bad apple out of the whole season.
What, 7 wins? 6 wins this year? 7 poles?
Yeah, fantastic numbers. 18 top 5s, 24 starts. Only 6 of the 24 races he finished outside the top 5. This will be one of those races, but just a fantastic, phenomenal season. It's just a heartbreak moment, second to final race, having the problems. And the 5 is on pit road here. Does not matter. He's locked into next week as he's going to come in and get some tires lighting and going. Going for fast time as they would in the F1 series. Just go out there and run a qualifying lap.
4. Make it, 10 miles remaining. Newton continuing to hit his marks. Here he comes now, working off of turn 4, off the short chute, down the front straightaway. Tyler King. And you know what? 3 to go at the line. But, Jeremy, I'm telling you, if I'm Tyler King right now, I would stay right where I'm at in second. I really believe that Newton and King punch their ticket in to the championship 4. Newton does it with a win. King does it because Dennis Moore, obviously out of the race. A bad night for the 44 for Win Racing. Tyler King, a former champion. You've got a chance now for Beaver Racing to do it again. And obviously, Paul Newton. Here's a guy that I used to only brag about him on the road courses, Jeremy, right? But he has just showed great skill and prowess. And as he comes to the line for the penultimate lap of the race, at the penultimate event of the year, 2 laps remaining, 5 miles to go between him, a win, Paul Newton's 3rd win of the year, mind you, and the trip into the championship 4 in 2 weeks, joining Devin West and Christopher White with wins. It's his race to lose down the back straightaway.
Under 4 miles left in this event. Look at the open track. No one in front, no one behind. Hit your marks for 6 more times. And you're going to Chicagoland in 2 weeks from tonight to try to win the first championship. White flag, 1 lap to go, presented by CRN. And here we go, 27. Showcasing speed, strategy, everything in the in-between. Clutch performance from the 27, getting it done at Indianapolis.
Final time. The final lap, working into turn number 1 and 2, into the short chute. Heading to the back straightaway, as Jeremy Stanley told you. Ladies and gentlemen, stay with you. Jeremy Stanley's going to carry you for post-race and grab the podium drivers and obviously get the thoughts of this man. It is Paul Newton, the road course king, is now beginning to show his prowess into the mainstream of the Northwest Racing Series. Here comes the number 27 off of turn number 4. Paul Newton, you're in the championship 4. He wins an Indy. He's going to fight for a championship in 2 weeks in the Windy City.
What a race. This is just, it's fantastic stuff. I'm sure he is going to be pumped to hear his voice when they're asking the first question. Is going to be, he's going to be full of energy. I can't wait to talk to him. And for that matter, Tyler King putting himself in there. Yeah. He had it by points coming in, and he finished strong P2. So just congrats to those 2 guys making it in. We know our top 4 for 2 weeks, and here's a congratulatory little bumper drive-by here. These 2 guys right here moving on to Chicago.
Moving to Chicagoland Speedway, which I think is going to be a very fun racetrack, a very fun facility to determine where the battle will be decided for these guys. I'm loving it. I think it's going to be an exciting race. Obviously, these drivers will take off for a week. They'll come back, and they will battle, as we mentioned, for the finale here at Chicagoland. And I got a feeling, if I had to guess right now, Jeremy, championship 4 that are locked in, obviously Devin West, Christopher White. Paul Newton went from number 7 to number 3, and I got a feeling Tyler King has made it in also. That's my bold prediction. I know it hasn't updated yet, but I really think, Jeremy, those are the guys that I think we're going to see in the championship 4.
100%. We know them. We're going to see a double burnout. I think that's the question here. See 127 gutting at it, of course. Slams the wall. Why not? Gonna do a
getting ready for that Northwest high five salute, too.
Absolutely.
Oh,
here we go.
Burn it down. And you know what?
Smoke.
You know why they're burning it down? Because I think Tyler King and Paul Newton both know They did what they needed to do, Jeremy, to go to the championship 4. One won the race, the other one at least was consistent, and they did what they needed because of the bad luck. The lady hand dealing a bad hand, Lady Luck dealing a bad hand to Dennis Moore and Dan West Jr., and it changed the scenario. And that's why they know they're going to be racing. There comes Devin West. Devin West for the first shot. The Northwest high five salute. And those are 3 of the 4 in the equation to fight for the title.
And also, by the way, this moves Paul Newton sole possession of your 3rd most winningest driver in 2025 with 3 wins to his name. As here comes Frank Harris sliding through with a 360 and then gets to the race winner. And here comes Jeff. Look at Brett Johnson. Look at how cattywampus that truck is. Bam.
And it is official. It is official, Jeremy. Devin West, Paul Newton, Christopher White, Tyler King, they will be fighting for the championship of Season 12 of the Northwest Racing Series. The best drivers in iRacing in the Pacific, US of A, West Coast, next week, or in 2 weeks. We're off next week. 2 weeks, November 3rd. And remember, there will be that race within a race, right, Jeremy? You're going to see, obviously, the battle for the championship. But then there will be the other guys that are just going to be hungry to try to etch their name with one more win before the end of the season. Let's look at the results tonight from Indianapolis at the world's greatest race course. Paul Newton, Tyler King, you're in the championship 4. I love that Jeremy's going to be able to talk to them and get their thoughts in just a moment. But for the thrill of victory, there is the agony of defeat for a guy like Dan West Jr. or Jeff or Dennis Moore. And yes, even Sean Brightsman, who finished 3rd. He's the first man out, -3 points into making it into the championship 4. He gave it a valiant effort. So did Jeff Stabnow. -4 out. Ryan Bloom, your top 5 when the race ended tonight. Christopher White, he's in. Brett Johnson, John Ottenbacher, Frank Harris, and Roy Grande, Jeremy, the top 10 when the checkered flag fell here at Indy.
And then the bottom 9 of the tonight's race, James Vining in the 333. Devin West in 12th, Scott Hutchison, P13, Dana Rogers 14th. Then you get to the heartbreaks. Dennis Moore in 15th, Kevin Smith in 16th, Dan West Jr. in 17th, Josh Childress 18th, and Corey, who does not start the race, does get 19th place on the scoring pylon. And then to reverse the script, Wesley, give me your final take of this race before we send you out for the night.
Boy, man, I tell you, this race definitely lived up to the hype. I've always liked Indianapolis. You never know what you're going to get, whether it's with cars or trucks or Indy open wheel cars. I think we were treated to Indy. My heart breaks for guys like Dan West Jr., Sean Brightsman, obviously Dennis Moore. Bad luck that those guys had. Coming up, Sean Brightsman, obviously Jeff Stabnow. Every effort valiantly made, just coming up short. But then I think about Paul Newton and what he's done being a road course guy and now having a chance to go to the championship 4, joining Devin West, joining Christopher White, and Tyler King. He's been in this dance before. He knows what it takes. So it's going to be a fun race. Jeremy, I know you're looking forward to covering the interviews, my friend. Enjoy the rest of your week. Have a great Halloween. Everybody be good out there. And, man, I can't wait to see what happens at Chicagoland when we close the chapter for the LSRTV Championship finale for the Northwest on Monday, November the 3rd. Take care, pal.
Yeah, you do the same, man. Have a good rest of your night. Give us a couple minutes, and we'll be live with the post-race to talk to your top 3. We'll be right back. And welcome to the LSRTV post-race show. We got our top 3 lined up, and probably the most excited driver here right now, the number 27, Paul Newton, coming in 7th place in points and winning it, punching the ticket to Chicagoland. Paul, congratulations on the phenomenal race at Indianapolis.
Thank you so much. Indy's my home away from home. I'm at Indianapolis Motor Speedway as often as I can. I try to go at least once or twice every couple of years. So for finally to get the first true oval win, I know I've won on the restrictor plate races, but those are kind of a different animal entirely. So it means so much to get that first real oval win here at Indianapolis. I love this place so much.
Yeah, I don't know if questions are going to do you right, so I think we're just going to give you the floor, man. Talk about your season. You're getting much better on this oval stuff. You just kind of mentioned it briefly there. What changes did you make this season, and just how did you get here and getting yourself ready for a championship title opportunity?
Yeah, in the season with that win at Daytona, and I didn't really have to worry about playoffs from then on. I had some ups and I had some downs, some serious downs. At the start of the season, I felt like everything that I'd learned on ovals I had kind of forgotten, and by about the midpoint of the season, some things started clicking. I started putting some things together. I started really getting in the groove. Like I could really feel when the car was taking a set, and I could really accelerate up out of turns, and a lot of things just came together. And ovals. I was really looking forward to a lot of the ovals in the second half of the season, and came really close at Rockingham, got second at Rockingham. 2 weeks ago at Iowa, I was ready to win that race, and then about 10 laps to go, got caught up in a wreck. So yeah, at that point I thought my Final Four hopes were done. Indy's, as much as I love Indy, it has not been very kind to me in the past. It's been a really rough road at Indy. I don't know what it is about it. It drives kind of like a road course, so I thought I should be good at it, but I never have been until now. But I have to give big thanks on my turnaround this season to my teammate Tyler. He's helped me a lot with setups, and we had a big long practice session yesterday where I was nowhere at the start of it, and we kept plugging away, and Tyler made all the setup changes that made everything come together. And right at the end of the session, I finally put in a really good run and carried that momentum into today. And wow, what a crazy race. We both got caught up in that lap 1 incident. I think we had a car miss a shift up in front of us. I hit the car in front of me, car behind me hit me. I got out of it without too much damage, but I came into pit twice to get it all fixed up. And from then on, I never made a setup change. Everything just kind of fell right into place. Strategy worked out. Just perfect race that has eluded me for so long. I just finally got it.
It's crazy to think that you've had struggles here in the past. Like, I had your name with an asterisk here just because you're a road course person, right? And this is flat corners, like you said, and I thought you would do well. And, with that, plus how the events turned out tonight, played in your favor, man. Well, congratulations. Awesome job tonight. Half the season you've had a top 5, so no discredit to you whatsoever. Phenomenal stuff. Any shout-outs before we let you go?
Thanks so much. I already said Tyler's name, but I want to thank Tyler King again. Beaver State Racing is firing on all cylinders right now, and he's most of that. I just follow his lead for the most part. I want to thank Paul Newton Design. I want to thank Trading Paints, and I want to thank LSRTV and the Northwest Racing Series. Everybody who puts these things on turns into awesome moments like today was. So thank you, everybody, and thanks everyone watching.
There you go. That's Paul Newton, race winner, and the driver moving himself into the playoffs from 7th place in points to now going for it 2 weeks from tonight. We're going to turn our attention now to the 21, Tyler King, who was damaged from that lap 1, turn 1 incident. They're not even turn 1. You and Dennis Moore both smashed the inside wall. Dennis more so than you. You spent, 2+ minutes on pit road to get that thing repaired, and then it became a rocket ship again. So walk us through that.
Yeah, what a night of ups and downs, right? I mean, barely made it past the start-finish line before we're in big trouble, and I didn't know what to expect. Went into the pits and had like a minute 20 seconds of damage. Looked it over in the replay. I thought we'd come out all right, and they got everything fixed. I was looking over Paul's truck, and I was like, okay, we're in good shape. We just gotta, be patient, work our way through the field. I knew we had a really good truck. Like Paul said yesterday, we went hard on this thing. Like we worked on it for 2 hours plus. We never do that. Usually I just put a little bit of time here and there, and we really like ironed the details out. I was just doing 10 lap runs trying to get that thing dialed in, and we had it running, and Paul put together a killer fuel run, and I was like, oh my god, this guy's gonna win this race tomorrow. Like, I can't believe it. And that was all up in smoke on lap 1, right? But I can't believe it. I'm so proud of Paul. Like this whole year, like winning Daytona, like he didn't like just fall into Daytona. Like he made like the perfect move at the right time, like a veteran guy who's won like 10,000 of these super speedway races. And then he goes and wins our home track up in Portland. That was a big deal for me. Beaver State, that's Oregon on my hood. I wear it everywhere I go. Very proud Oregonian. And then to come down here to Indianapolis, this is where I won my first race in the Northwest Series, and we're able to, win the race. And then, we had a lot of luck and a lot of bad luck for one of my really good friends, Dennis. It's heartbreaking that the three of us got caught up in that wreck. And as happy as I am for Paul and myself, I'm devastated for Dennis. He definitely deserves to be in the Final Four. He is, arguably one of the best driver in the series right now. Like he and Devin. But yeah, I feel like I'm rambling, but I can't believe that we're here and we have a shot to win the championship. But it's a fantastic year. We got 5 wins. We're going for our second championship. Hopefully, it's like our fifth, sixth championship appearance for Beaver State Racing, and yeah, I'm just so proud of everybody.
Yeah, you played the format very well, man. The final 3 races, fired on all cylinders. Doing great for your team, for you and for Paul, setting him up for success. To be here, 2 trucks into the final race. So good luck on that race in 2 weeks from tonight. But man, any shout outs you want to give out before we let you go?
Well, thank you, Jeremy. Appreciate the kind words. Obviously thanks to everybody, LSRTV, that puts on a great show. Wesley, Cody, Charles, Wooten, whatever you want to go by. Sean, great racing with him all year long. He and I were in a tight points battle in trucks and ARCA. Great friends on the track, off the track. He's one of our Cow Motorsports with me and Paul in the sports car world. Jeff putting on the show every year for us to come out and have such a good time, and everybody that shows up every week. Just thanks to everybody. Appreciate it.
2 trucks for Beaver State Racing. They're both going to the Final Four. Appreciate your time there, Tyler. We'll talk to you in 2 weeks. And then we got our attention set for 3rd place finisher, Mr. Sean Brightsman. The first one out, but man, you had a great season nonetheless. Fantastic stuff. You put yourself in a great spot tonight. You had a fantastic run. Things didn't fall exactly the way you needed it to. And walk us through your night, man.
You couldn't have said it better. I mean, we worked a decent amount on the setup to try to get one of the Team LSRTV guys in, whether it was Dan, myself, Jeff, whoever it was. We worked last night on the setup, kind of dialing it in, and the race seemed to kind of work out right on lap 1 when those 3 got caught up in that missed shift. So it was kind of opening the door, and unfortunately the just didn't work out. They just had a better setup over the run, and the pit strategy I had with them worked to their favor a bit more. So really no complaints. Pretty proud of the Team LSRTV guys and everybody all season long for everything we've done.
Yeah, great stuff there. I know you're one of the first to come down pit road that final green flag stint, and it helped you out a little bit there. Looking back at it, do you think even an earlier pit stop would have given you a better chance, or maybe vice versa, and maybe extending that run as maximum fuel run before you made that pit stop? What do you think would have been the change that would have been better?
Hindsight, I'd say an earlier pit stop, but to be honest, Pitting there under that caution and running it longer than Paul did was probably the wrong move. So really kind of put me into a bind of either hoping for a caution or short pitting myself a little bit, and kind of just waited a little too long. That way Paul and them knew when I was pitting, and maybe if his teammate wasn't right behind me, we may have snuck in a couple laps earlier and maybe got ahead of him. But to be honest, they had a really good setup over the long haul, and Tyler was 2.5 seconds behind me out of that pit stop, so he pulled it and gained a second and a half. So they just were on it tonight. They did a good job, and I look forward to watching the championship 4. Devin, Paul, Tyler, and Chris all battle it out at Chicago. Hopefully in my rearview mirror.
Yeah, that'd be fun for you for sure to close out the season with a W. But man, I appreciate your time. But final shout outs before we let you go tonight.
I got to thank everybody at Team LSRTV, everybody on the LSRTV broadcast for everything you guys do. Got to thank everybody at the Northwest Racing Series. Again, car counts help to create some excitement and everything for everybody. 2 positions there, and we have a different story, right? So thanks everybody for coming out, and we look forward to a couple weeks here and wrap this 2025 season up.
Sean, appreciate your time there. Have a good night. And that's it for LSR TV. Thank you guys for all watching in. Not here next week. You got the off week, kind of like the NFL does, right before the final race of the year. 2 weeks from the night at Chicagoland. Join us. Same time, same place as always. Telling you guys have a good night. Stay safe, and we'll see you then.